Do you know how hard you should be working when you're strength training? Um, you want to really go by how your body feels, 100%, absolutely. But I want to introduce a concept to you today that is really valuable because when you're lifting weights, you want to progress over time, and that progression can happen in three ways, right? So it's the number of sets that you do, the number of reps you do per set, and the volume of weight that you're lifting. Now, that's making me realize there's a lot of other subtleties in terms of, there's also some tempo subtleties. There's other things that we can talk about. But today, I want to really focus on the notion of how hard you're working, right? So that's principally in sets and reps and volume. And it's fairly, common. I know a lot of people that will have fairly light weights, and they comfortably do, they can, comfortably do a set of, so let's say they're doing a forward shoulder lift. They comfortably can do 12 with good form, right? Engaged core, shoulders down and back, and at whatever volume they're holding, whether it's a 2-pound weight or a 3-pound weight or a 5-pound weight, they can really comfortably do that. And they just keep repeating that week after week after week after week. What's going to happen is your muscles just get used to that volume, and then they work to that level, and then they're not going to keep getting stronger because they're not being challenged. So what I want to talk about today is this concept that we have in lifting, which is working to failure. And, failure can sound like a bad thing, like, why would I want to fail? But working to failure is actually information for your body, right? So if you can lift 3 pounds and do 3 sets of 12, your body knows it's ready for more, right? So then you can pick up a 5-pound weight, right? And when you first increase the volume, how much weight you're carrying, maybe then you can do 8. Maybe you can only do 8, and then you have to stop. And that's what we call training to failure, right? So you get to the point where you go, I cannot do any more on a Monday, right? And then you see how you are on the Wednesday, and then you see how you are on the Friday, and you'll see, and then all of a sudden there'll be the day where you go, I used to do 8, now 10's good. Now 12's good. And then you can stay at that good form, do 12 for a while, and then your body's going to know that you're ready for a little more volume, right? So we essentially continue adding the volume. Now, you can, and some people do, add another set, which is another way of adding, which is okay. I do find that I think adding reps doesn't do that much in terms of increasing the muscular strength, right? So for reps, I'm usually in an 8 to 12 kind of range. I might go up to 15 if I feel like it, but something in the 8 to 12, 8 to 15 kind of range for the number of reps is useful, because I want to just always be challenging the muscles and adding some volume to the muscles, right? And talking about, so volume is clear when you have dumbbells and you're getting the next size dumbbells. With resistance bands, it can be a little less clear, but it has to do with how much resistance you feel on the band, where your hand is on the band. And in body weight, kind of similarly, it just, so we talk about a push-up, right? We often start push-upping on a wall, build up to getting further away from the wall, build up to going to an inclined surface, build up to going face down. You could start knees down and then go to a full plank position for your push-up, right? So that's a good example of how we progress. And so it's the same thing. If I'm whipping out 12 really comfortably and not challenging myself as much anymore, then I want to make an adjustment. So I add more challenge. We always want to progress our weight training, right? And embrace and love this notion of training to failure. It's helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.